This one topic has been on my heart for a long time. It's a very painful topic because we continue to double down on things that don't work. It reminds me of one of my favorite quotes by Jim Fay from Love and Logic. When parents come to him and say, the discipline that we are utilizing isn't working. So we're here at this Love and Logic seminar to try to learn new ways to discipline our child. And the quotes he says is, of course you are. We're Americans. We find out what doesn't work and then we amplify it. And I really find that is what we're doing to ourselves when we are struggling with something like ADHD, and we call it neurodivergence, as if we are diverging from the norm. But really, what is normal? So many people come into my therapy practice who are trying to just grind and white knuckle their way through to success, but their world is burning down all around them and they can't figure out why. I'm trying to figure out what the secret hack is. And the hack is acceptance. The hack is recognizing that we live in this traditional normative framework with this arbitrary operating system that doesn't work for people who are ADHD. It doesn't work for people who are autistic. It doesn't work for people who are dyslexic. And we think that this divergence is pathology, and it's not pathology. It's diversity. It's like a neurotype. And so the quote says, we find out what doesn't work and then we intensify it. So we buy new planners, we watch more YouTube videos, we buy more books. Maybe Hardy has the way, maybe Atomic Habits is the way, maybe Bishop in his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, maybe all these things are the thing that's going to push us through. And it's not. The harder we try, the more we get angry, we burn out, we're exhausted, and we collapse. And I used to think the same thing because I used to try to do that. Grind harder, get up earlier, go to bed later, write that to-do list and hammer it out. But what I learned about myself and what I've learned about ADHD is the more we think it's required, or more we think it's something that we have to do, the more we rebel. And then we label it. We label it as behavior problems, disrespect, laziness. But is it really a desire for autonomy? You know, the person that wants to do it their own way? Maybe they just need more choices. Maybe they need more autonomy. The person who's staring out the window and lazy, maybe they're exhausted because their brain is working at a much higher rate than somebody who doesn't have ADHD or dyslexia. Maybe their exhaustion on the weekend is their nervous system collapsing. And instead of doing the chores or doing the to-do list, they're sitting there scrolling on their phone. They're playing video games, just trying to cope with a nervous system overwhelm. So this traditional normative framework that we're trying to squeeze ourselves into is really the problem, not ADHD. And if we could just make it diversity, if we could just accept ourselves and say, look, I need different things. I need to design my life for dopamine. I need to design my life for frequent breaks, maybe working for 50 minutes and taking 10 minutes off. Maybe I need to leverage flow state. Maybe I can tell people don't interrupt me right now. I don't need another email. And it's okay if I put my computer on do not disturb because I have things that I'm getting through because my brain works differently. My body works differently. And if we could just accept this, if we could make it neurodiversity, let's think about it. Some studies have up to 1 in 5 kids have dyslexia. 1 in 4 people are neurodiverse. 25% of the population doesn't think or do things the typical person. So instead of going into this arbitrary norm of conformity and trying to get people to just be quiet, to not disturb the others, what if we leverage these frameworks and we honored the diversity and we said, oh, you think in pictures? What are things that we can do to help you do that? Oh, you think in systems? What are things that we can help you to do that? Oh, your nervous system is overwhelmed after 30 minutes? Why don't we normalize going outside to take a walk instead of having these silly, arbitrary rules of 50-minute classes or minutes in the seat? Our system is not designed for today's culture, but our marketing, our sales are all there to manipulate the dopamine that people feel. And so our phones, our computers, our TVs, stimulation, stimulation, stimulation. The ADHD person is going insane. We're sitting here with all of this stimulation, and then we wonder why we can't focus, why we can't sit in our seats. What the heck is going on? And so we're punished. We're written up. It's time that we, as ADHD people, recognize here's a symptomology. And it's not even symptomology, it may be traits. We're forgetful, we're intense, we have strong emotions, we don't like to be told what to do. And instead of trying to normalize it, how do we leverage it in a way that works for us versus burning ourselves out trying to fit into a system that was never intended for us?